Hi there. So, we talk a lot about how powerful PR can be, and it really is. It builds credibility, authority, and long term visibility in a way very few other channels can. But here's something people don't say enough, and that is that PR is not always the right move. In fact, sometimes doing PR at the wrong time can hurt more than it helps. So, today, let's talk honestly about when you should actually pause, wait, and rethink your PR efforts and what that looks like in real life. Now, firstly, we have when you don't have anything truly newsworthy. Now, PR isn't about announcing that your business exists. Journalists are not looking for we launched stories unless there's something unusual, impactful, or timely about it. For example, if a new agency launches but it doesn't have funding, a unique angle, strong data, or even an interesting founder story, there's nothing a journalist or there's nothing for a journalist to build a narrative around. It becomes promotional instead of editorial. If your story sounds like an ad rather than something that informs or adds value, it's usually a sign that you're not ready for PR yet. You may need to build more substance first. Now, here we have an example of a press release. Now, I use Parliament PR here as, just an example. Now, by reading this press release, you'll see that there is no real value. It just says that we are busy with ongoing commitments to progress, and it just says that we are working. That's literally all it says. It's short, there's no editorial value for the journalist, nothing. So when a journalist sees this, they aren't going to think, okay, this is newsworthy, we want to pick up the story and run with it. They are going to ignore your press release. So then you would want to have either a product launch or something interesting that the journalist can basically say, okay, this is a newsworthy story. My audience would love to read more about this, and this is a story that I will choose. So the next one we have is when your business isn't ready for attention. Now, PR brings visibility, and visibility magnifies whatever is already there, good or bad. Now, imagine you secure a feature in a respected publication, and suddenly hundreds or thousands of people visit your website. If your messaging is unclear, your website looks unfinished, or your offer is confusing, that opportunity quickly disappears. So, PR should amplify a strong foundation. If your operations, branding, or customer journey aren't solid yet, it's often smarter to fix those first before inviting public attention. Now, I was looking up bad website designs, and this is one that I came up on. And this doesn't necessarily like show that maybe it is a bad website, but it does look incomplete. Now, if you respond to a query and you send out your pitch and they use your quote and you add a backlink and they add a backlink to your quote and everything, and someone clicks on it, and this is the type of website that they might land on, something that seems incomplete, it's not going to urge, let's say, the reader or anyone else to do more research or to find out exactly who you are, like what your brand is all about. So you want to make sure that your messaging is clear, you've got a clear website that's easy to navigate, the call to action and everything there is clear, so whoever lands on your page, they know exactly who you are about. You don't want to get negative exposure just because you haven't like fully thought out everything yet. If you are still in that beginning stages, let's say you are a startup or anything like that, then first focus on your brand. First focus on building your brand, building that foundation, and then you can start thinking of different PR strategies. Then next we have when you're expecting instant sales. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions about PR is that it's a direct sales tool. It's not, it's a credibility tool. For example, A small e-commerce brand might land a feature and expect immediate revenue spikes. Now, while traffic might increase briefly, PR typically builds trust over time rather than generating overnight conversions. So, if the goal is immediate cash flow or short term performance, then paid ads may be more appropriate for you and your strategies. So, PR works best when you're thinking long term or you're thinking about your long term reputation instead of quick wins. So, PR, like SEO, it's, a long term game. So you need to wait before you see all of those results. So if you are selling products and you have like a timeline or anything like that, you are working towards a certain season. Let's say you have products that is more suited to summer and you really want people to buy now, then it would be a good option to, perhaps go with like paid ads or anything like that. So this is an example of, like a sponsored like Google Ads and everything like that, and then you'll pop up on the top of the page perhaps, and yeah, you'll pop up where the sponsored results will be. This might be a better option for you instead of PR. And then next we have when you're not ready for public scrutiny or you're not prepared for public scrutiny, because anything can happen when you are putting yourself out there. So the moment you seek media attention, you're inviting people to look deeper into your business. Journalists will research you. Potential customers will Google you. Competitors may pay attention. If there's unresolved complaints, inconsistent messaging, or reputational risks, PR can unintentionally bring those to the surface. Think of reviews on Trustpilot or on Yelp or on what's the site called Yelp. So what if there are negative reviews on all of those sites? So someone who might be eager to work with you, they might come across those and say, oh, okay, so maybe you aren't the best person to be working with. So you want to fix all of those issues first. And then also you have to make sure that you are prepared for, whatever media attention comes your way. And then lastly, when your positioning isn't clear. So PR depends on clarity. If you can't clearly explain who you are, who you serve, and what makes you different, journalists won't know where to place you. So for instance, if one week you present yourself as a startup expert, the next as a marketing strategist, and the following week as a mindset coach, your message becomes diluted. So, media positioning requires consistency. Before investing in PR, make sure your narrative is focused. A clear, defined identity makes pitching easier and coverage stronger. So, these are just a few of the reasons why PR might not always be the immediate go to for you. So, focus on all the other aspects first, create that strong foundation, make sure that your messaging is consistent. Take a look at all of your, let's say, reviews and everything like that that might come forth like to the surface, like I mentioned, like public your public image. Focus on all of those things first before you start putting yourself and your brand at the forefront.